What time is it?
It's time for Friday night beer fight.
Hi, I'm Robert Snapsky.
I'm Carolyn Payne.
And today we're talking and tasting craft beer.
And what kind are we talking about?
APA, or American Pale Ale.
And we will try two, one from a Connecticut brewery and one from a Chicago, Illinois brewery.
Real American Pale Ale from the Northeast makes it early American. Hey, what's our secret judging process?
The 3 S's.
Slobber, swill, and snooze?
Good guess, but it's actually see, smell, and sip. The first contender is Blonde on Blonde from City Steam Brewery in Hartford, Connecticut.
And in this corner, we have 312 Pale Ale from Goose Island in Chicago.
American Pale Ales are medium-bodied beers that vary in color from pale gold to dark amber. They usually contain less caramel malt than their English counterparts and are more heavily hopped. Quite often, the line between APA and IPA is unclear. American Pale Ales use American hops, which tend to be citrusy or piney.
APA is a very new style of beer. Anchor Liberty Ale, originally brewed by Anchor Brewing Company, was a special in 1975 to commemorate Paul Revere's Midnight Ride in 1775. Fritz Maytag, the owner of Anchor, visited British breweries and used that knowledge to make his American version, using just malt rather than the malt and sugar combinations that the British breweries were using. He also made prominent use of the American hop cascade. So the first round is C. I'm going to check this beer out here. I'm starting with the Blonde on Blonde. And
it's really pretty. It's like an ombre in the glass.
An ombre?
Yeah, it's a thing where it goes from darker to lighter.
I thought that was a thing cowboys called each other.
No.
Pretty sure it is.
No, it's a thing in fashion right now is ombre, like ombre hair, ombre nails.
Okay.
And this has an ombre to it that makes it quite pretty.
It does. It's a very hazy beer. I think you're seeing that because there's more up here because of the shape of the glass. There's actually more product higher up, so it's making it look a little darker. But it's hazy, but intentionally so, clearly. It kind of like Hefeweizen is hazy. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's any wheat in here. So yeah, let's check out the 312, which is clearly different. And yes, that was a pun, because it's very clear.
Yes.
You can see your fingers right through the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty beer. Say like pale orange.
Yeah, sort of a honey color.
So yeah, it's a good descriptor. Both of them seem adequately carbonated. Clearly, the head retention on the Blonde on Blonde is much greater. This, the 312 dissipated pretty quickly.
Yeah, so that makes this a really pretty pour.
Yeah,
if that matters to you, this is your classic, your classic pour of beer.
For sure.
This is like Homer Simpson sitting at Moe's. Duff beer.
Duff. I heard they're actually making that. But anyway, I digress. What would you give that for a rating on C?
Because I like the ombre and I like how classic it looks, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5. 5 for the Blonde on Blonde. I'm
going to go ahead and give it a 4. I enjoy it as well. But I've seen prettier beers. It's pretty pleasing to my eye. But I'm not prepared to give it a 5. I do like that nice white head on top, though. It looks really nice.
And for the other one?
So I respect the clarity of it. It's a very clear beer. You can kind of see your fingers right through the other side there, right?
Yeah, the murky honey color is not as captivating. It's not.
And the lack of head. I mean, I really like the look of a nice.
So I'm going to agree and give a 3.
Yeah, go with a 3 on that guy.
And now our second round, smell. So starting with the Blonde Blonde. You really pick up those citrus.
Yeah, I get like a orange peel.
Lemon.
Lemon?
Lemon.
Little lemon zest.
Mm-hmm.
I get grapefruit, definitely.
I love beers with grapefruit.
With grapefruit in them or grapefruit flavors?
Flavors.
Because there's both. A lot of that comes from the hops that are used.
Right. But when it has the grapefruit flavor, it's good. And I get some of that from this.
Definitely. A little sweetness from the malt.
And with the 312, very different.
Mm-hmm.
There's no citrus here.
It's more piney.
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting a little skunk? I think I get a little skunk with that.
It's definitely not. This one definitely smells a lot better than the 312.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
All right. So let's rate them. The Blonde Blonde.
Blonde, I'm going to give a 4.
I'm going to give it a 5.
5 again?
Oh, again.
Wow.
Yeah.
You like it that much?
I love the citrus smell with this, but it's not overpowering. It still smells like a beer. It's not like what you were talking about where it's a grapefruit ale or
Right.
so you get that citrus.
It's APA,
kick.
not quite an IPA. IPA would have even more of a stronger aroma, depending on when the hop was added.
The 312, what are you thinking?
I'm telling you, I'm getting like a skunky smell that I'm not enjoying. I'm going to give that a 2. I do not like that smell.
I'm agreeing with him. That's also getting a 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now for round 3, the final and most important round, and my personal favorite, is sip.
Or guzzle.
To each his own.
All right, so Blonde Blonde from City Steam. Those citrus flavors really pop.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. Could do with a little more body, personally. But,
it's drinkable.
It's definitely a drinkable beer.
This is a really nice, like I'm getting like spring, late spring, summertime, sit outside kind
sunny
of beer.
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Little sweetness from the malt, but I could actually do with a bit more, maybe.
Really? I think it's actually pretty sweet. That would be my concern with it.
Really?
I feel like this
it's a little too sweet?
You could get into some trouble where it would get sweet after having more than one.
All right.
All right, so the 312 Urban Pale Ale.
312.
Well, as suspected, based on the smell, it's not my favorite.
Yeah. Goose Island makes some good stuff. Their Bourbon County is fantastic. Their Sophie, Matilda, great beers. I've found since they've been bought out by AB InBev that their lower end, cheaper kind of beers aren't really up to par.
Well, that's the thing. This tastes cheap. It has that flavor of like the kind of beer that you drink in college to play beer pong with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't like it, but it was cheap and it won't cost a lot to, pour it in a solo cup.
Right, and get you drunk when you're playing beer pong.
But I don't want to sit and drink that and savor it.
No.
All right. Numbers. Let's talk numbers. Blonde.
3.
4. I think it's a really drinkable beer. My concern is that it is sweet. I think after a couple of those.
I could have done with a little bit more body. I don't know what kind of malts were used, but I could have done with a little more body.
A blonde with a better body.
A blonde with a better body.
All right, and the 312?
The 312, I'm going to go with a 2.
Yeah, I actually would almost give this a 1, but I'm going to give it a 2.
A 1?
Well, a 1, I mean, it's better than a 1, but not just barely.
I feel you. We're agreeing a lot this episode.
Yeah, it's unusual.
It's refreshing. And the winner is City Steam's Blonde on Blonde.
With a score of 25. And with a score of 14,
Goose Island's 312 Pale Ale.
We don't always agree.
No.
But we don't have to,
Right.
right? I mean, for instance, you're always wrong.
Everybody has the right to their own opinions when tasting craft beer. So keep on tasting and savoring that craft beer.
Let us know what you think about our show.
And contact us on our website or Facebook page. Cheers. Oh, I can't believe there's still head on that.
Yeah.
It's nice though.